Hello.
Hi.
Welcome to episode... Oh, I always get this wrong. 15?
I think it's 16.
Okay,
I don't know.
16.
15, 16.
Who knows?
Who knows? I think it's 16. It's
Okay.
for sure
It'll
16.
say... Yeah. Okay. Welcome to another episode of the Royal Bee Yarn Company. This is Kelly, my wife, owner of the Royal Bee Yarn Company. And this is Tony, her husband, who's also owner of the Royal Bee Yarn Company.
And a teacher.
And I'm also a teacher.
And actually, he's teaching kindergarten right now. He's doing
Just
the distance
temporarily.
learning.
Yeah.
Yeah. While they find a teacher, and then he'll go back to his regular duties.
Yeah.
But for now, it's a duty.
Sorry. You have to be mature in order to teach kindergarten. So there you go. Yeah, I'm teaching kindergarten. I'm loving it. Oh my goodness. I think if this was normal and I was a teacher again, I think I would quite happily teach kindergarten. I love that age. They're a great age.
They're so cute.
They're
so
very cute.
I think it might help though that they're like at their homes and not like
they're not crying all over the place and shouting out.
I don't know that kindergarten
it's
spit,
nice to be able to mute all. But what we've been learning this week is how to mute and unmute when you want to talk, and they're so good at it, my kids.
Aww.
They're great. It's going to be sad to let them go sometime this week, maybe, or maybe next week. I don't know. You may notice that we're not blue because even though in our interview we will be blue, because that was... Did I just spoil the magic?
I don't know.
Yeah, because they've taken down the blue plastic.
Because we do the interviews a week in advance, and so so that will be blue.
Our interview today was one we did last week. Yeah, I
don't know.
Magic. Anyway,
there's no magic.
So that's what I've been doing. I've been teaching kindergarten. Kelly, what have you been doing?
You're so formal. This is the second time that you've done the introduction. It's freaking me out a little bit.
Okay.
Oh, we forgot to just, in case you didn't know.
We also have our own yarn brand.
We do have our own yarn brand. We say this every single time. Shameless self-promotion, but then,
Go on then.
Why not? Well, I'm actually wearing my new woolen spun yarn in yet another Wave of Change jacket because I'm obsessed. I found a pattern that I love, and it's by a local designer, and they run handmade, and it works up so well in my bulky yarn. So this is my fourth, and I've got one that I'm sending to the UK for my mother-in-law, and then I'm making one for my mom. So
we have our own brand.
Yep.
That's our...
Yes, this is our 18 micron merino fleece that comes from a little farm in North Carolina, and then it's spun by a husband and wife mill team nearby and hand dyed in all vegetable dyes. That's some good squeezing.
And we have
then we have our woolen spun, which is brand spanking new.
This is an untidy hank.
It is an untidy hank, but I just got a Twisted Sisters hank winder. I was on the waiting list for it, and I still haven't quite mastered it yet, but because I do all of these hanks by hand, so sometimes they are a little...
I was excited. It looked like a really exciting device, but it's just a hook that goes around and around.
Yeah, but hopefully...
Can't plug your guitar into it, so that's what it looks like. It looks like a really cool pedal.
It does, doesn't it?
It does. It looks really rock and roll.
It does look rock and roll. I love that. And then the other thing that I've been kind of... Wait, have I even talked about what I've been up to? I don't know.
You just went off on a tangent.
I did go off on a tangent. Nothing new. We are slick today.
What have you been doing, Cal?
Well, I've been continuing to participate in the Bay Area Fiber Fair.
Oh no, you were right.
And we got our little pins in. So many of the shops or designers or yarn makers are participating, and they got little pins. So these are on sale for $12. And
all the proceeds go to
nothing.
Okay. So what else are you doing, babe?
We do have something that we're doing in terms of all the proceeds, but we'll talk about that when we interview.
You got an eyelash.
Oh.
Make a wish.
I can't I don't think you've ever done that before.
I'll never do it
thinking
again.
Never do it
I'll
again.
never do it
Yeah,
again.
never do it again. And then we've got the Summer Tide shop. You hold this up. Summer Tide top by Juliana, knit by Jules. And I'm putting kits together this week for her top using Sincere Sheep. And it's just a gorgeous little top. It's part of the Bay Area Fiber Fair. And I've done kits already for Kira K's Shrug, which is a super cute crochet design, and then Afifa's Later's Baby. And so this will be the third one. There are 8 designers and 8 yarn makers. I'm paired up with Kira from Kira K Designs, and she utilized my yarn for her shrug, but we're supporting all of the other designers and yarn makers as much as we possibly can. All boats rise, right?
Yes, they do.
Or something like that. Tide rises all boats, that kind of thing.
All boats lead to glass houses. What else are you gonna? Oh, what else?
Yeah, that's kind of it.
So
I mean, that's kind of. We
Go on.
No, you go on.
No, I'm going to say anything. Go on.
I think this might be our worst episode ever.
You mean our best episode ever? Go on.
We had the absolute delight of interviewing Joanna from Stitching the High Notes.
Oh, yes.
And she is just a wonderful maker in the Bay Area and quite an interesting person and an opera singer and all the things.
Do you know, I think maybe we should introduce her.
Okay.
No, because she's coming through the door
Okay.
now.
Hi, Joanna. Hi.
Yay, hi.
Hello from across the bay.
Smoky Bay. It's really smoky.
Super smoky.
It's really smoky. This is Joanna. She is Stitching the High Note. And she makes the most gorgeous project bags and pins, and she has a really successful video blog. So I'm super grateful that you decided to, hang out with our tiny little itty bitty thing.
Oh, thank you for having me. I'm honored. I love your shop and you guys, so I'm honored.
Love you back. And your project bags are, they're so stylish. I feel like you're living a life of style. Like everything that you touch has that designer approach to it. Your background, everything. So yeah.
Nice shower in the background.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
IKEA. I'm like an IKEA ad right now. Well, thank you.
So tell us a little bit about your journey to becoming a maker.
Well, I started out as a singer. So I come from a family of makers, first of all. My mom and my Grammy were seamstresses, and they had their own businesses at certain points in their life. So I grew up cross-stitching and sewing or around it. And I went the music making route early on. I played cello and flute, and then I wanted a instrument that I didn't have to haul around. So I switched to singing. And became a professional opera singer. So I was pursuing that full-time for a while, and then decided to be local and have been a part-time singer here in the Bay Area for almost 10 years now. And also working, I have a business brain too. I've always had an entrepreneurial business brain, and I wanted to work in the art form as well. So, and I do that currently. I work at the San Francisco Opera in fundraising. So yeah, but in terms of being a maker, in terms of knitting and all the good stuff, that started in between rehearsals when I was bored and just needing something else creative to do, not just reading, because it was hard for me to read and hear music happening or feel like I'm on call to go on stage or something. And knitting just worked more so than cross-stitching, which is my first love, because you can put it down. And if you mess up, beauty of it is you can just take back or rip it out. So that's kind of my journey for becoming a maker. and then, yeah.
So where do you perform regularly? And can we come and see you soon?
Wow.
Well, not now,
Not
COVID.
now, unfortunately, but up until recently at the San Francisco Symphony was the primary place that I've been singing. I've been one of their 36 professional members. The rest of the chorus is volunteer, which is amazing, for coming on 9 or a little over 9 years. And anytime there's a chorus bit happening or a chorus performance, I'm in it. The professional singers have to do all of them. The fun ones were when we would do an opera, because opera is my first love. So we would do a semi-staged opera at the end of the season. But yeah, it's not going to be happening for some time. The word on the street is probably not till very late 2021, maybe 2022, because we're the final stage. We're stage 4, so is when we can perform as normal. So, and personally, exclusive here is I'm probably not going to be returning to the symphony, even if they still were, they're in negotiations right now, but even if they were to offer some part of a contract, I'm ready to do stitching the high notes more and more. So I'm ready for the next phase of singing. So hopefully in the future it'll be like a recital with my friends, or you know, like I'll get a pickup gig here and there. But yeah.
And wholesale.
And
I want to be one of
wholesale.
your first wholesalers when it happens.
You got it. You're first. You're first.
And I mean, this is kind of a slightly redundant question, because I think you've explained your background, stitching the high notes, and how you came up with that name.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, stitching high notes. As I laugh, soprano like. Yeah.
You a soprano?
Yeah, I'm a soprano. Yeah, I'm a soprano. Big honkin' Wagnerian like soprano, which you wouldn't think with my itty bitty voice, but yeah, like that's the type of soprano. But yeah, I wanted something to reflect stitching, which can be cross stitching or stitching, knitting, or crochet or whatever, and singing. And I came up with it. I was brainstorming at the time. I was working with at Berkeley Repertory Theater, and my boss and I were at the lunch table. She's so supportive. She's a former dancer. And I was telling her I was going to do this vlog thing. I was like, I don't know. Okay, I'm going to try it out. But told her, you know, in the back of my mind, I want this to be a business someday in some capacity. And she was like, how about stitching the high notes? And it was like, oh, the clouds parted. I know, I was like, oh, I think I probably did that. I went, oh, and it's perfect. It's just when you know something fits and feels right and reflects everything that you want to put out into the world, it hits you. And lately, as I'm kind of going out of a phase of being a professional singer in the capacity that I have been, it's reflecting that I've always been a positive person and that I really value joy and coming from a place of joy. And that's what I hope my work on YouTube and digital content and through the bags and things I make and whatever else comes down the line someday, that's what I'm encouraging people to do. So
when you were a little girl, what did you want to be when you grew up?
I wanted to be a full-time musician.
Oh, cool.
And it's really weird. I just found recently a letter when I was 8 that I wrote to myself. It was probably some assignment a teacher had given me to do. And it's really spooky because I said I wanted to work in music full time. I wanted to have a life surrounded by music, I think is what I said, which is so deep for like an 8-year-old. But that's super deep. I mean, that's the Berkeley in me coming out right there. But like, but I just have always wanted to be surrounded by music, and I think the arts in general and creativity. So it was never, I played cello at the time, so I never wanted to be a world famous cellist or a world famous soprano. I just wanted to do my thing, get paid for it.
So you grew up in the Bay Area? Did I hear that right?
I did.
Berkeley?
Yeah. Berkeley, I moved around a lot. My dad was a minister, and so we moved about every 4 to 7 years. And so lived in Berkeley. I went to middle school in Fairfield, and I went to high school in San Jose. And then I went to college, but my family remained in the Bay Area, San Leandro, the city. And then they moved up to Sacramento eventually. And I'm the last holdout here.
Where do you live?
San Francisco.
Currently,
Yeah.
I live in Hercules in the East Bay.
Hercules. Okay,
Yeah.
Because, well, for those of you that don't know, occasionally you come to the shop, and before COVID happened, you were part of our Stitch group, and now that COVID has happened, you're part of our virtual Stitch group. Yay. Which anybody can join, by the way.
Yeah.
It's the best. Everybody do it. It's amazing.
We'll
Best
try to
group of
remember to
people.
put the login information on the
I will do that.
video.
I will
But
do
yeah,
that.
yeah,
You're going to get inundated now.
yeah, with the 12 people that watch it.
Everybody watch it. It's amazing.
It's at least 20.
Yeah, you do that one.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Now this question's cumbersome. If you want to
Rephrase
Okay.
it.
if you could only eat one thing for the rest of your life, what would it be?
It's so hard. So I have a lot of food allergies, so I feel like this opens my world in so many ways when I think about it. The first thing that comes to mind is pizza. I want gluten-y, dairy, meaty pizza because I can't have any of those things. So I just would have all of it all of the time in all its varieties.
So you're just going to go down in a flaming glory of delicious pizza, cheesy.
Yeah.
I never
Well,
liked it really until I came to America, the Bay Area especially. Oh my, so much variety and quality, especially in the
so
food.
good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and you get all the kinds like New York, Chicago, like
Yeah. Oh, I didn't.
Neapolitan.
Chicago pizza. Oh my goodness.
What was the last piece of music that you listened to really loudly?
Like listen to
Oh, put on an iPod.
like an
or iPhone.
an album, a record. I wish I had a record player. I'm trying to think. I don't know. It's probably a Rihanna video or something, like dancing around trying to relieve stress or something. I think the last like piece that I connected with, like listened to was Mahler 8, because we were supposed to do that this year with Michael Tilson Thomas leaving the symphony. But yeah, usually I just have lo-fi. I'm like super into lo-fi music right now in the background, like electronic chill music. It's like keeps me steady. I can listen to it while I am working. But yeah, it's weird. I've heard a lot of musicians are this way. We don't sit down and listen to a lot of music because especially if you're lucky and you're performing a lot, you're creating it all the time. So yeah, maybe that'll change now. I don't know.
Yeah, I was going to say that like I'm the type of person that I'm very, very narrowly focused. So if I'm doing anything that requires any degree of concentration, there are only certain musics that I can have on in the background. And I have found 2 channels that really work for me at the Royal Bee. And the Pandora channel that you'll always hear when you come in here, well, the 2, Billie Holiday, and Lord Huron, which is like super relaxing, chill, almost like you have to take your pulse to make sure you're still,
I found that because I was in the music industry, and I was in a band that used to tour and perform. And when we quit and called it a day, for almost a year afterwards, I couldn't listen to any music. It was almost like I was done with listening to music, and it was kind of a weird period. But then when it came back, I get super involved, super engaged. Anyway, which question are we on, babe?
Oh, this one.
What's your favorite color?
Right now, turquoise. I think I'm just like, I don't know, and all the various, names that you can call it and shades of it. But Yeah, it's just maybe it's like a full circle. I wanted to be Ariel growing up, the Little Mermaid. I don't know, but it's just refreshing. It's kind of hopeful.
Yeah,
It
it's
used to be
positive.
red. Yeah, like red and stuff, but yeah.
That's his favorite color, red.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's yellow at the
I mean,
moment.
it's like
Is it really?
Yeah.
I've got red all over the place. So you think it's that, but
You can't go wrong with red. Okay. Do you have a really annoying habit?
I'm sure I do. I think probably right now, I don't know if you would call it a habit, but I mean, I live alone. So it's like I don't hear about my annoying habits too often, which is nice. But when I'm around my family, I think it's that I'm always asking them to turn the volume down on their TV or to like turn something off. They get really annoyed because they have it on all the time. And I think I get oversensitized really easily. And I think I've always been like that, but I think being around a super big choir and a symphony for so long does that to you too. I mean, you're sitting behind the brass and the percussion cymbals for 9 years. It'll get to yours a little bit, but yeah, I think it annoys them. But I'm like, can you just like put it on pause while you talk to me? Like, I can't hear your loud TV, your loud Hallmark Channel show in the background when you're talking to me.
You mentioned that cross stitch was your very kind of like your entry craft, and you grew up around sewing. When did you learn to knit and crochet? Right, you do it all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I learned to knit probably in 2005-ish when I was in grad school. That was the first time I taught myself. I think somebody showed me some stitches or something, but it came from I was playing like the mom in Hansel and Gretel, and the mom isn't in that too often. So um, I just was sitting around. It was like it was like a week where they were hopscotching around different scenes. So I had to be there, and I was just like, and um, so I picked it up. And sorry, I was like making sure my phone didn't go off right now. Because this is when my mom is like, "Hey, what's going on? What's happening?" Um, but so I picked it up then, and then I stopped, and then in 2015 I picked it up again because I was bored in rehearsal, and I did crochet first, and then I did knitting, and I learned online, and just the world opened up from there. I just was like soaking in everything and doing podcasts and going to virtual knit nights and going to shops and just learning everything. So, yeah.
Do you have a kid appropriate joke?
I don't. I don't have jokes memorized. I'm weird. I love a good joke. I love a good pun. Tell me a pun for half an hour. I'm there for it. But I've never been one to like memorize jokes or like movie lines or TV lines or whatever. I don't know what it is. So I honestly would have to like look it up on the internet to find one for you. But I don't know. Maybe it's because I joke all the time. I don't need to like have a queue up. I don't know. But
I understand that. I understand that.
I think it might be particular to, I don't know, it's kind of interesting. Like we've had a couple people that have had some jokes. I can never remember them. I'm not sure why I even asked the question. He's fantastic at telling jokes, and he remembers all the lines from movies. And of my many annoying habits, like misquoting.
I like, if I need a laugh, I like the Edinburgh Festival releases that their top 50 best jokes of the Edinburgh Festival every year, and they're usually
They're
hilarious.
usually really good.
Yeah, my favorite one is you can adapt it to your partner, and I usually say to people, Kelly and I watched 3 movies back to back the other night. Luckily, I was the one facing the TV. And many more.
And many more.
and many more. I love them. I love them.
Joanna, thank you so
Yeah, thanks, Joanna.
much. And everybody go to www.stitchingthehighnotes.com. Check out these absolutely stunning, there's sweater bags, there's smaller project bags, there's like briefcases, right? Like a
Yeah.
I like a good briefcase.
Yeah, stitching briefcase. There are adorable pins. What else?
Stitch markers.
Markers.
And I'm coming next Sunday. I'm going to have notions bags and a smaller needlework bag with like 2 zippers. So you can put your notions in the front and your small cross stitch project inside.
And the other thing that I'm not entirely sure how you do it, but everything is very reasonably priced. You know, sometimes there is so much effort and cost involved in making project bags. I don't think people really understand just how time consuming and costly it is in order to make something that's of excellent quality. And your stuff is not only of excellent quality, but it's really reasonably priced. So yeah.
I work hard on finding source materials that allow me to keep the cost reasonable, but also reflect the labor that goes into it and the time. But yeah, and a wide variety too, so that people can find what they need. So,
well, I can't wait till you branch out, and I can't wait to have them in the shop. And thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you so much. It was wonderful to be here.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye, Joanna.
Bye, Joanna.
Bye. Oh. I don't know why I did that.
Because she's a singer. That's what you have to do to singers. I think that's what you have to do.
So,
Anyway, that was a great interview. I enjoyed that.
It was a great interview. Isn't she the sweetest? And by the way, she has her own video blog, which is hugely successful.
Yeah.
So.
Do you know, it's obvious because we're wearing different clothes.
Oh,
we changed between the interviews.
I know, but it still cracks me up that we do it anyway.
Yeah,
it's really just for me.
Hilarious. We are hilarious.
To each other.
A lot of our lives together is spent laughing. We do a lot of laughing, don't we?
We do a lot of laughing. Yeah, we do.
Okay, what do you got to show us, Cal?
Oh, okay. So I was gonna show it's kind of interesting because just gonna show off some of the stuff that I have in the shop.
Please do.
And I just got this in yesterday, so I'm kind of excited about it. Die Gilpin Le Lamb, which is a Scottish.
I like this one.
Okay, Scottish wool, lamb's wool. Came out, if you're familiar with it already.
It's Aaron.
Came out with an Aaron weight. And so I was like, oh yeah, I'm having all the colors. And
it's hard to squish. Get your hand around that one. It's a big one.
Yeah, it is a big one. And it's so affordable. It's really affordable. I don't know how they do it, but they do it. And it's so soft.
$14.50.
It's really, really soft.
Yeah.
And does it say what color that is? Or is it a color number?
Red. No. It doesn't say.
Doesn't. Okay. Well, hold up a few of the colors just to get it.
Okay.
I mean, that is such an interesting color.
Ooh, these are
it's
good
not
colors.
red. It's not. It's not orange. It's red orange.
Kind of like if I was to describe this, kind of like a salmony orange.
I would call it more of a red orange.
Okay, red orange. Okay. Yeah.
What are those
beautiful.
like a blood orange?
Could be. We're just going further away from what it is. It's just like it's green.
It's
it's that captures it fairly well.
Yeah.
But come to the shop and have a look for yourself.
Come to the shop and have a peek.
Wear a mask. Wash your hands. Don't touch our faces.
Look at that one. Isn't that beautiful?
That's nice. Look at the variegation.
Sure, but it's probably not variegated.
It looks really blue from a distance, but when you get up close, there's some little flecks of grey in there. It's really nice.
It's more of a heathered.
Oh, I get that one.
It's whatever.
That one, lovely, greeny, lovely textures in there.
Yeah, that one is also like a really interesting.
Beautiful part of the world, which you've never been to, which is I'm going to take you to Scotland next time we get to Britain. We need to go to Scotland.
We're in Wales. We've been to Ireland. We've been to Belgium. We've been to France. We've been to most of the continent, but I've never been to Scotland, which is crazy.
Crazy.
So
it's only 9 hours away from Wales.
Yeah.
Where we lived anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, what else you got to show, babe? That's nice. What's the name of that again?
Die Gilpin Le Lamb.
Die Gilpin Le Lamb, and they got a lovely.
Le Lamb.
Die Gilpin Le Land, Aaron. Okay.
Okay.
Next.
Well, I got a bunch of Mad Tosh in the shop too. These are just brand new into the shop. So even the regulars probably haven't seen the various different colors that I got in. So, you know, Mad Tosh has a million different colors. It's always a little bit hard to choose from. But do you want to read out this one's wilted?
What do I want to read
So
out?
beautiful.
The
The
colors.
colors, yeah.
Jaded Dreams. You have to say in that voice.
This one's called Black Velvet. I'm a particular fan of this.
Black Velvet.
It should be called like Blood on the Asphalt.
Phew, I'm going to say something else then. This one's called Leaf Fall. Oh, I like this one. Go on, you go next.
Okay. This one is called Yoko.
Yoko. I was trying to get in the middle of the others, that one. Auburn
I see
Afternoon.
what you did there.
Yeah, I know. Sorry. If Yoko Ono's watching this, I'm a big fan. Don't worry. That's nice.
Your dad had correspondence with
Yeah,
your...
my dad's a friend. My dad, one of my dad's claim to fame is he writes to Yoko Ono. She sends him, well, she sent a letter back with some artwork.
It's a little bit, so it's a little bit more of a story than that. My father-in-law, Nigel, worked for the local newspaper in the South Wales August in Wales in Newport. And he's a professional printer, then designer, and then he ended up becoming editor of their golfing magazine and also did a bunch of editing for the various different
Should I tell the short version of the story?
Sure. And one of his friends was part of the photography department. Wait, I think I might be getting this wrong. Why don't you
It's
tell
got
the
nothing
short...
to do with the Mad
It's
Tosh.
okay. It's just kind of an interesting
Okay,
story.
my
You
dad
tell
works for a
it.
local newspaper, and once we did work for a newspaper, and a man in the valleys passed away, and they were going through his belongings, and they found these undeveloped photographs, and they were photographs of the town hall, different shows and things, and 4 or 5 of the photographs were of the Beatles before they were
big
really famous.
and
So they were
yeah.
kind of they're very amateurish and kind of blurry, and they're not very well taken photographs. So my dad sent the negatives or some negatives to Yoko Ono in New York, because my dad does that. He sends things to famous people. And Yoko Ono sent a lovely letter back
Beautiful.
with a little miniature piece of art that she gave to him.
Yeah, it was something like one
It was
day
like
we'll
a blue
all meet
square.
and put the sky together or something
Yeah, it was
like
nice.
that.
It's
was
on
really
the wall in
sweet.
the house. I'm laying claim to that.
Yeah. It's at your brother's house, actually.
Is it?
Yeah. Photographs are at your brother's house.
Oh, the photographs, but not
Yeah.
the Yoko Ono
No,
letter. I
I
want
think
that.
that's your dad's.
Dave
So
doesn't
this
want
is Mars rover.
Yeah, anyway, we digressed totally then, babe.
Did you do this one already?
Yes, the Auburn one. Yeah.
Isn't
Winter
that
Auburn.
pretty? I feel like that would match.
Auburn Afternoon. Ah, it's nice. Don't know why that colour takes me back to living in Bath when the sun sets.
Oh
in the
yeah,
winter,
it's
which is
so
amazing.
autumnal.
I'd leave school and the sun was just coming down, and I'd meet you in Bath and we'd have coffee, and it was just, oh my God, those great days. When you went out places. We're still in lockdown, for history's sake.
Still in
And
lockdown.
we're still surrounded by fires, but they're
Yeah.
being contained, so we're safe. Mum and Dad, we're okay. But a lot of people are losing their property.
There's
It's
been
really
a
sad.
lot of loss. It's been,
It's a horrible time. New moon.
very challenging.
It's a horrible time, but these things keep us going and push us through. New moon, look at that colour. If you're feeling upset, look at that beautiful colour.
Aw.
I want this one.
What do you want me to make?
Nothing, I just want it.
You're beginning to understand.
I know. Oh my God.
I think you're turning. I think it just happened.
I don't
Oh my
know why I
gosh.
want it, but I'm going to get it. And I'm going to stash it away and never use it.
I'm so proud.
But I'll say I will use it one day. It's happened.
It's happened.
Next week I'll be wearing a wave of change jacket.
I want to make you one. They're unisex. I think
I-
it would look so good on you. Really?
I never got on with woolly fibers on my body.
Tony.
Traitor.
It's so soft. I think
But I'm still going to buy that.
See, the problem I think is that maybe it was like the wool of yesteryear.
The
And
thing
not
is, no, this is the
merino. Feel
reason why.
this.
No, I know
Feel
the
it.
reason
Feel
is
it. And this is the woolen
we live in
spine.
Pacifica. The climate for me is always t-shirt climate.
Mm.
I never very rarely wear a jacket
Oh, try to justify it to everybody.
because
to me,
the
Pacifica
climate is always either very hot or perfect. And today it's perfect.
never very hot.
It's perfect today.
We're constantly shrouded in fog, mostly.
But I like wearing a t-shirt in this
and
weather.
it's like what, like maybe
Still gonna buy this.
62 degrees on average here or something like that. I don't know what it really is, but it feels like you always want to have a little cardigan, so it's perfect. Oh, I'm so, you know what? I
It
shouldn't.
smells of sheep.
Isn't it beautiful? It's actually the.
Is it alpaca again? Did I do that? It's actually chicken.
But I think they use a citric base.
Oh, right.
So
Yeah, you
is
can
it
smell
that vinegar.
It's made in hand. Yeah.
Yeah, it's hand dyed here.
Doesn't say vinegar.
No, it wouldn't say it, but it's
Oh,
actually
I like where the
citric
wool comes from.
acid.
Can I tell where the wool comes from? Am I allowed to say that?
Sure, yeah, you should be saying where it comes
might
from.
just
That's
spoil it,
what.
okay.
That's what.
No, it's dyed by hand in Texas, but the wool comes from South Africa.
Right. So
Anyway, I can put
that's
that
in
down.
fact that's actually like a labeling must. You need to say where your source fiber came from, and then the rest of the process. So yeah. Speaking of where wool came from, I am so excited about
Next week's interview.
I mean, I totally was like so thrilled to have Stephanie,
This is so soft.
who is I totally, but
This is very soft. Oh my god, I can practically feel my fingers through that. It's so squishy and soft.
so not this week, but the week before, we interviewed Stephanie, who is the president of the Northern California Fiber Shed Collective. I said Northern California Fiber Shed Collective. I said it right this time. I don't know why I said it the wrong way last time. Tony corrected me with a little ticker tape. And she is also a lady sheep shearer, and she wrote the book Raw Materials, which is fantastic. And that's just a few of her accomplishments. And through a Fiber Shed event, I met Sarah, who is the owner of a farm called Wild Oak Hollow. And this, I've shown this yarn to folks before.
Yeah, we have Wild Oak Hollow.
That is one of her yarns. She has plenty, and it is called Esmeralda, and it's a sport weight, and it's named after two of her sheep, Poppy and Esmeralda, and then blended with alpaca.
She might be an interesting person when we interview her next week.
We just interviewed her. She's amazing.
Yeah, she's very interesting.
And a phenomenal person, and she's doing so much for the land here in California. And speaking of the fires, you know, a lot of the work that she does in terms of the grazing animals helps for fire abatement. It's a really, really important part.
So interesting.
Yeah, the more I learn about...
And I'm learning from these interviews. I learned a lot, and you're going to learn a lot next week when you come back.
Yeah.
You'll meet Sarah, and she will talk about Wild Oat Hollow.
Yeah.
So interesting. Makes you want to just sell everything and move to the country.
Yeah. It sounds like a lot of hard work, though. I think between the shop and the... I think we'll just go visit.
Yeah.
Sarah. We'll just go visit and play with the sheep.
Speaking of work, I got to go do work now.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
All right. Well.
Okay.
Bye. Have a great week, everyone. Be safe.
Have
Wear
a
a mask. Wash your
fantastic-
hands. Don't touch my face. Bye.